Joey with Created in Awe. I am a guest presenter here over on the Rust Cover Cottage by Christina. I'll go ahead and show you the other kit that was packaged with this. This one with the circle ornaments are called cross ornament set. So one says grace, one I just got it cattywampus says love. We have one that says belief and whoops, hope. Whoops, that one slid. Let me hold that in place. They have not been put together yet, so they're all slightly different shapes of crosses. Here's one that says Jesus and one that says faith. What was the first one? Love. Okay, so grace was the other one that I showed you. Okay, let me get these put into a baggie before I lose track of them, since this package has been opened. This is part of a collection that Christina and I put together, and we get to put out collection releases on a seasonal basis. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, did I say the name of it? Farmhouse Charm Inspired by Joey. That's the name of it. If you go to her website and you want to see just our collection of kits that we put out for the last like year and a half almost, it's in the menus. You can find all of the kits listed there. There is a category for Christmas and winter, so they are by season if you want to search by category. But each season so far this year, we have included at least one kit that is a Christmas style, a Christmas theme, or a winter theme. Because Christina has always told me, she said people go to her website looking for Christmas kits all year long. Either you're stocking up for your crafts for yourself or for your gifts, or if you, some of you do vendor events, and I want to keep this together in order. You do vendor events, and so you need to be stocking up a little bit along the way and working on them, right? So we've been doing that all year, and I'm going to do a little compilation over on my page of all of those kits together so that you can be reminded, just in case there was something you saw that you didn't get a chance to get and you want to see what we have again. Okay, so these, let me get this plastic off of here. I'll probably use the cardboard to paint on. Okay, sorry about the noise. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, it's in the trash. So we have these 5 adorable, I think they're just so stinking cute, little Christmas tree tags. Okay, so we have a super bright light here. I'm going to try to hold these up so you can see them. You'll see them better when we have them painted. That one has a little separate stem. Here's another cute one, like a stacked look. We have one that is like a bed spring. And then we have this sweet little delicate, more whimsical style. Oh, you can see it pretty well. There we go. And then we have the last one. These are little separate block pieces that we're going to put together. So we're going to paint these up. Hello, Peggy Cruz. Did you get new glasses? Oh, no, these are just the reading glasses I've been using for this past several weeks. I did get them a few weeks ago. Had to make a Costco run because all of my glasses were either broken or lost, of course. So that is that. So I am going to do these up very similar to each other. We'll kind of change up the colors a little bit. I think that will be nice for a cohesive theme if you want to make these ornaments. If you have a rustic tree and you want to have a similar look, we're going to do these all very similar. Or these can be tags on your gifts, and the back side would be so perfect just to write on there a to and a from. And you could use a fine tip Sharpie, you could use a paint pen. I don't think I'm going to be putting my to from on the back just yet, just because I don't know who each of these would be going to, or if I'm going to hang them on my tree, or what I'm going to do. So I'm going to hold off on that, but I will stain the back of it so it's finished. And then we'll add just a little bit of embellishment to it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do all of the backs. Now notice every one of them has scored lines to match the shape of the tree. So once you take these apart, you're not going to have to worry about remembering which one goes to which. Just don't lose track of your pieces. I am so thankful that Christina taped this set together so that I don't lose any of those. I'm bad about losing stuff. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, deciding. I know for my background, I'm going to go with a very light stain. So what I have available to me is this light brown sugar. Is it just called glaze? What is it called? Well, it's a water-based glaze. Okay. It is from Paint Couture. I know this is backward for you, but it is on Christina's website. She has this one. She has several glazes, and she has a whole line of paints. This one is called Light Brown Sugar, and it's just a nice golden kind of creamy color, and it is a glaze. So it goes on very thin, much like a stain. And I think I will be brushing it on. Let me get a paintbrush that I think will give me good coverage. And we're just going to do all of the backgrounds in this, but then we're going to do a little bit of a technique. I'm going to do a dry brush over the top. So we're going to get some, and it's just going to warm up the back. You can also apply this with a even like a paper towel, or you can use a wet wipe if you like. I'm going to go ahead and do all the front first, and then we will flip it over and go ahead and do the back. I won't worry too much about the back. It's just going to get a coat, kind of like the front, but the back, the front will also get a dry brush technique over the top. And then the trees, I'm trying to decide what colors I'm going to use. I have all of my different greens over here. I'm debating about the spring. No, I'll make it green. I almost said, oh, maybe we should make it like a metal color or a rust. That would be cute, but then I'm afraid we lose the effect of it being a tree unless there's some green going on. So maybe we'll just age it so it looks rusty on top of the green. What do you think? What would you do? Do you have several different greens, or would you do all of them the same? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a flip and get all of these done on the back, and then we'll touch up the front if we need to. I just want to go ahead and keep it going. Hello, Miss Edie. How are you? All right, I got too much on there, so we're going to spread the love over here. Don't forget, if you are new to Christina's page, don't forget to give her a follow, because she has the opportunity, since she has so many different affiliates, to have us come onto her page several times a week and show you our ideas of how to complete different kits that she offers. So you're going to get, when you follow this page, to see a variety of different crafting techniques, different types of kits, different styles. Some of the crafters are, just kind of like me, a hodgepodge. Some of them are more painters and give you more of an artistic flair. Some are rustic, some like whimsical. Everybody has a different style and different ideas. All right. I'm going to swipe off some excess before I flip this over. I'm just going to use a dry paper towel, and it's going to take some of it back off, but it's still going to leave that stained effect. And it's not really dark. It is just to give an idea and to make it look a little more finished on the back. All right. All right, so that's what the backs are looking like, a nice golden color. I'll go ahead and flip these over, and I am going to swipe off excess off the front also. Now, if it gets too dark, now this light brown sugar is not very dark, but if you use one of the darker brown tones, or if you use a black glaze and you feel like you got it way too heavy, use a wet wipe to swipe the excess off. That will take more of it off than a dry paper towel will. The dry paper towel just takes off the excess, but a wet one, wet wipe, disinfecting wipe, water wipe, something like that, it's going to take off more of it. I think those are pretty, just like that. There's Christina. Hey, sweet lady. We have gotten started. You know what? I don't have to put this in the water. It's a glaze. It's not going to dry and get all crunchy and hard like paint will. I can keep this off to the side just in case I want to add anything over the top of our trees. I'm going to let those set for a minute. The glaze stays damp for quite a while. I can speed up the drying here in a little bit if it's not quite dry, but we can go ahead and work on our tree. Oh, I already see this little guy that I want to pull out. So this is the stem that goes in the middle of this tree. We're going to give that one a glaze. Just going to glaze right over it. So I'm glad I saved. And I'm going to let that set for a minute, kind of soak in, and then I'll take off the excess. Okay. So I have the Paint Couture Autumn Sage color. I also have, which is very similar to Waverly's color of celery. It's very pretty light green. Then I also have my moss color. And I got out the fern color. So we have a variety, and we can decide, and shake them a little bit, which one would need which color, you know? I'm thinking the bright green is going to go maybe on this guy, and moss will go on a couple of them. And then the celery, I'm going to decide, we're just going to have to decide. Let's get some little sponge daubers out. Let me go ahead and do, I've got fern open. Let me go ahead and do that one on this little guy. It's kind of cutesy. Just going to get, it just takes a tiny bit of paint. And I am dabbing very lightly over most of this. Okay, now once I have dabbed it, it leaves kind of an uneven texture, and it also, I may have missed some spots. So I will then take my sponge and I will do a light swipe going down in the kind of in the motion of these branches, so that I don't accidentally pick up the end of it and then like knock it across the table or break it or something. So I'm going down, swiping down on this side. Just go ahead and turn it around, and I'll swipe away on this side. I like the bright green. It's going to make it stand out since this is so thin and delicate. That's going to be, it's kind of a darker color. I might do this one also. No, I'm going to do this guy. We're going to go ahead, because I just am. I'm just going to go ahead and do this guy in the same color. And then we will do a couple of them probably in the, sorry, I'm speaking in slow motion. That's what I do while I paint. We will do the moss color on a couple of the trees. Now you are welcome to paint down the sides of these trees if you want to. I think I'm going to skip that because I think it's going to help them look a little more rustic. All right, so I think that's it for fern. And let's go ahead and get moss. I think this one's going to be the celery. These two are going to be the moss color. So let's get, and then, whoa, these are connected somehow. Then we're going to get some yellow out for the star. Oh, I have a gold. Maybe we'll just do gold on the star. All right, that's going to be the celery. Yeah. Oh, and let's come back and stain the trunk of this guy. I still have a little bit on my brush. Perfect. Okay. Now, just going to dab on what's the little blocks for the tree branches. Swipe to finish it off. Okay, I'll come back and check that. Sometimes moss is deceiving and I can't tell if I have missed any spots, so I will come back and check that. All right, now we're going to do our little spring. Now the spring is going to be delicate, guys, so handle it with kid gloves. So I am actually trying to use plenty of paint so I don't have to dab and swipe quite as much. You can also put this on a piece of painter's tape like that to help hold it still. Karen is here from Florida. Good to have you here. Okay. So your spring is only connected like down one side. There are a couple of tight spots that I have gotten my paint globbed over. So I'm going to come back with a little brush in between so that I don't have that paint in between those layers. So I'll show you. Okay, so there's our spring, and you can kind of see these rows right in here, how they're touching, and I've gotten paint in between. So I'm going to take my teeny weeny paintbrush, teensy weensy. You can even do this with like a piece of paper towel. I'm just going to swipe in between to pick up that excess paint. Oh, I see a spot I missed while I'm here. Yeah, I tell you, as that moss color dries, spots you missed shows up. So that's done, unless I miss spots. I'll come back and check. I'm really loving how this color is looking. As it's drying, it's getting darker, but I do see spots I missed. So I will touch those up. Let's do this guy, our one that, I don't know what to call that one. I mean, we have our stacked. I'll call that one our stacked tree. I'm going to do that in the autumn sage color. Such a pretty color. Running low on little sponge daubers. Thought I had more. There's one. There's a tiny one. Let's go ahead and use our tiny one. There's something. There's a hair connected to something. Got it. And now I would love to highlight the scored lines on this tree. Ooh, that color's looking a little too bright, a little too pastel. Let's see what happens when we go over it with our glaze. I may have gotten it a little bit heavy and filled in the lines quite a bit. I'm going to get this wet just with some water, a little bit of water. I'm going to dab some of it back off, and I'm going to swipe off a little bit of this paint. There we go. Just going to make it a little bit thinner. There. Okay, we're going to let that dry, and we're going to go over it with the glaze in a second. Let's get our fern back out and touch up the spots I see. Just a couple. Let me get a little tiny brush. We don't need to worry about the, I'm going to put that sponge in there. We don't need to worry about a sponge dauber for this, since we are only doing teeny weeny spots. I do tend to use the sponge daubers a lot when I paint these projects. For me, it goes faster rather than trying to aim a paintbrush in tiny spots, and sometimes it gets really heavy, heavier than I want it to be, and it takes a while to dry. So, but it's great. These are great for touch-ups. Got a fleck of something right there. There we go. Okay, that one looks good. Let me get my moss back out. Just a couple. Can't imagine how Christina cuts the image out. They're so delicate. You know, her machine is amazing. I am always shocked at how delicate these pieces can be. And they come out crisp and perfect. A couple of spots right there. The spring is going to be really hard to tell if we missed anything, so I'm not too worried about it. I think I got most of it. Okay, now let's do, I need to get a little bit of, I need to get my gold. Where's my gold? I just saw it. Oh, there it is. I knew it was close by. This one is not a chalk paint. It's a multi-surface from Folk Art in metallic. Antique gold is the color. So it's a Folk Art metallic. Let me shake it. Okay. I'm going to get, you know what? I think we can just clean off this paintbrush and use it for our star. Just gonna dab and swipe just like I do. There we go. With the sponge dauber, that's done. That's done. I'm gonna set my glue on its side because it's starting to get a little low and it'll be ready. Let me make sure. I'm gonna dry the tags just a little bit because like I said earlier, the glaze takes longer to dry than paint does. So let's go over this real quick. And then get a sip here. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. Are you ready for Halloween? I just got my Halloween candy today. Finally. Just got it. We don't hardly have any trick-or-treaters here, so I got a lot less this year. Thank goodness, since it's so expensive. Oh my gosh. In the past years, we have just given out like, whoops, huge handfuls of candy to each kid because we get so few trick-or-treaters. And I thought, I am not going to do that this year. I'm just going to give them a couple of pieces and we're going to be good. And if there's anything left over, I may have picked out the kind of candy that I would like to eat. So, I'm not concerned if we have any left over. I'll take care of that, right? Let's go ahead and glaze. I think I need a little bit more. This tree here. There we go. I'm going to glaze and see if I can really work it down into what was etched. Like I said, I kind of went a little heavy handed and the paint filled in the etched lines a little too much. So I think while I have the glaze on there, I think I might be able, if I can find my little stick pin, my little handy dandy stick pin, and now I can see those lines better. I'm going to go ahead and, hold on, here we go, trace them, so to speak, with the needle, the stick pin. And hopefully my glaze can get itself down into those scored lines a little better. Oh, that went a little wild. Hang on. There we go. Got the bottom section. I don't know if you can see. You see the bottom. See how I cleaned out that paint so you can see it a little bit better. Just have to get the light on it just right and I can see all of it. Let's go ahead and drag all the way up. This one doesn't come out. The one in the triangle tree comes out. Oops. And here's the other one. Okay, now I can see them a little better. We're going to redo the glaze. Just dab it in there. And now I can see them again. Ta-da! There you go. You're going to get a little bit of glare right now while that glaze is wet. We will clean off the excess here in a little bit. Okay, that's going to be it for the trees and the painting. You're not going to have any trick-or-treaters. Your homes are too far apart. Oh, would they have to like drive in between? They probably will skip that, huh? I think most kids are taken to churches anymore, and they do their trunk or treat, right? I have a little excess glaze on my cardboard that I don't want to stick to the backs of these. See, that one's sticking already. Okay, got that out of the way. Now we're going to do a dry brush. So I have my plaster color, another Waverly chalk paint. And since these are small, typically I do my dry brush where I just want it to kind of look haphazard over the top layer of the glaze. Usually I'll use a chip brush like this that is really jagged. But since it's so small, I think this little stenciling brush is going to be good, and I'm pretty sure I got this at Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to dab it in there. There's not hardly any in the lid, so let's get some on here. And I'm going to dab it into the lid to kind of work some of it off, and get another paper towel to dab even more of it off. Okay, so I just want a light coat, and I am just going to dry brush up and down. Get a little bit more from that. And I start with a little bit, and I can add to it. But I want it to look kind of like snow coming down. Let me go get this corner. There we go. Okay, let's see what it's going to look like when I put the tree on it. Oh, and it's going to make those trees really stand out. That's cute. Okay. Okay, so there's our dry brush over the top. I'm not worried about the center part where the tree is going to be. So, get some more paint. Again, I always try to start with very little and then add to it. I think there's a lot on here, so I'm going to go very lightly. Okay, I can go a little bit heavier than I thought. Okay. Some spots are going to be heavier than others, and that's kind of the distressed look of it. Cute. I want a little bit more. Okay. Get some more paint, moving on. This is going to be so cute. So when you're adding this bit of white-ish paint, you are giving more contrast. See, for me, putting something that is like a mid-tone of color, this green, even a little bit dark, over the top of a stained wood, this feels like my microphone is like falling off. Tell me if you can't hear me on the microphone. If it were like this, let me show you. It's pretty. It's very pretty, very kind of woodsy looking. But if you add that little dry brush of white, it makes your tree really pop and stand out. And I know that it's much of a glare. There you go. You get some color variation on the back, and you get your tree to pop. Hi, Elaine. We are doing the set of Christmas. Rustic. I think they're Rustic Christmas Tree Tags wood kit. It's a set of 5. All 5 of these come together. And I like that one like that. Just wanted to do a simple, quick one with you today. Have you already ordered your Christmas wood kits from Christina, guys? I know several of you did the other day when we released our kits, the sets from the collection. Had a lot of you going in going, I'm getting that one. And this one, that's another reason I did this one. This one was super popular. It's like almost everybody who ordered that day ordered these along with their other wood kits. I think these are just going to be so cute. And like I said, they're either tags for Christmas ornaments or tags for gifts or Christmas ornaments. Or you could even set them on a tiered tray. I think that would be so sweet, just to mix them into your tiered tray decor. Okay, I think I'm going to stop. I think we are good with the white. And it dries. They can be ornaments, Elaine, yes. Okay. Let me get this just a little bit more of a dry, just to make sure. So that my glue will for sure stick. Oh, I'm going to turn on my hot glue. I have a little bit of an embellishment, and I may need that, or I may use my glitter glue just to make sure they stay in place. I'm going to move this. I know it's going to make noise. I'm sorry. Hang on. I feel like it has slid down. There we go. I probably stepped on it. Who knows? Okay. And hopefully didn't get paint on me. I don't know. All right, so the glue I'm going to use to attach our wood pieces is called Art Glitter Glue. It dries clear, like it says here. It's from, I get it on Amazon, a designer, adhesive, permanent, water-based, non-toxic, and it dries acid-free. So it is, I think they intended it for paper crafting, but it works really well on these wood kits. We wanted to clean off a little bit of that glaze. I had it on here pretty heavy, so I'm just going to swipe off my excess. Oh, that tree looks cute. Cute, cute, cute. Let's go ahead and get it glued on. Make sure this is cleaned out. Nope. Somewhere over here, oh, there it is. This little doohickey comes with your glue, and it's a tiny nozzle that comes in handy for little tiny pieces, which we may need to use on some of this. And it also comes with a stick pin for cleaning out your nozzle. And I'm hoping I didn't. I'm hoping I can get this cleaned out. Would you write? Yes, Elaine, exactly. Yeah, we were talking about that at the beginning. I think there's plenty of room on the backs of these to write to from. It's a little bit clogged. Oh, now it's stuck. Hold on. I don't want to bust the needle. Let me get it. Okay, needle nose pliers. Where might you be? There they are, on the table instead of in the drawer. There we go. It's completely stuck. We may not be using this today. It's turning. There it goes. It's slowly coming out. Very slowly. This is crazy. I should have soaked. I can probably put it in my water and soak it a little bit. We may have to. Okay, this sounds weird. I'm going to drop this down into the water for my paint brushes, and we are going to let that soak so that it will come out. Let me get my other needle that I used on the paint to make sure this nozzle is cleaned out. We can glue several of these with just this regular nozzle and not have to worry about the tiny one. Okay, if I can get it to start coming out. I have more trouble with glue bottles. Christina can tell you that. There we go. I am awful with maintenance of the glue bottles. We've got some glue coming. Oh, I need to turn on my hot glue. Okay, so remember you have your scored lines kind of hidden by our dry brush, but I can see them. In person, you can really see them fine. All right. My glaze is still a little tiny bit tacky, and apparently I got too much glue and it oozed out, so I took care of that. All right, now this guy, we can put our little stem back into the middle of the tree and flip it over and glue all of this together. I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on this since these pieces are wanting to kind of come apart. So I'm just going to put the glue straight on there. Whoa! Go back in. Hold on. Let me line that back up. There. There we go. Oh, that looks so cute together. That one is glued. Hot glue, turning you on, please be charged. Yay, it's charged. Okay, this one I'm going to use tiny if I can. So let's go ahead and glue our little wood slat pieces. I am going to carefully peel the tape from the back. And again, this tape came on these. Christina, I believe, is doing that on all of the ones that you guys order. So you don't have to go chasing your little pieces around your package. All right. So I am just going to put some dabs on here. To start with a few. And then they just, like little puzzle pieces, line up. And if you make them a little bit crooked, that's fine. In fact, they are a little bit crooked the way they're etched in, the way those lines are scored in. They're just slightly crooked. Just a couple of dabs of glue. Doesn't take very much. You can use the stick fast glue You could use super glue. I say this all the time, I don't recommend using hot glue for putting the wood pieces together because it's so thick. You really want these pieces to be flat against each other. There we go. Whoops, almost. Now this one gives you a couple of seconds to get things in place. So if it's a little bit crooked, if you want it straighter, you can make it so, so cute. I love that one. All right, now I'm gonna dig out use this paintbrush. Get this thing out. Oops, it was right there. There it is. Oh, it was right there. Hold on. Now it's hiding from me. Where did you go? Where did you go? There it is. Got it. Well, this is not a good brush to get it with. Let's get my needle nose pliers in there. This is... Joey, you are just ridiculous. It doesn't want to come up the side either. My needle nose pliers are not very long. Let's try this. You have to order them. Tip for the glue you've learned: after you clean the top, sit in the... Yes. Soak it in water and rinse it out, and that glue should come right out. Yes, I just always forget to do that. I am so absent-minded about my craft supplies. Got it. With the sponge. Okay, let's see if this... It's coming out. I spilled my jar of water, but mostly on a towel. Hold on, guys. It almost all went on this towel. Yay. Let's get it to stop dripping. It's another Joey kind of night. Oh my goodness. I have to, hang on guys, let me dab this up off of the, where did it go? It went down the side of my cart. And a little bit on the floor. Not much. Woo! I got lucky there. I got very lucky there. We're good. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good. Got everything going. You just have to laugh. You have to laugh. You have to laugh. All right, I'm going to get away. And I'm going to kind of, where did that needle go? There it is. Clean some of this glue off the needle. Oh, you had to search, Peggy? Did I not? I put it on the page. Did you see the post on my page? I don't know if everybody was able to see that. I also put the links on my Telegram and Messenger. I put links to Christina's page. I don't know why. It's soft, but it still feels clogged. Aha! See if I can get any more chunks to come out. I can't believe this clogged as much as it did. I really didn't think it would. Well, clearly I didn't think it would, or I would have taken care of this before. Try one more. It's got a bunch of clogs down on this side. So we're going to go with the glue as it is. I'm going to soak that longer. We're going to go ahead and, in fact, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a paintbrush. I'm going to put a blob of glue on my wet wipe. we're going to paint it on. So I am just dabbing with the end of my paintbrush glue. Okay, let's see if that will hold. Get it on there before it gets dry. Let that sit for a minute and then we'll test it out. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So I'm going to go up the trunk and then at the ends of the branches. You can do the same thing with wood glue. You can paint wood glue on with a paintbrush as well. There we go. That one worked great. I got plenty on that one. This one's holding. We got it! Yay! They're all glued. Okay. Done with the glue. Get my lid back on there so I don't have to worry about it. Now, embellish. Embellish. Let me get this wipe and glue out of the way. I have over here, does anybody still use pip berries in their Christmas crafting? I haven't even paid attention to if they are still selling the pip berries in the stores very much, but I have some left over from past years. It's tangled up with my green raffia, which is convenient because I want to use my green raffia. So I'm going to get, we're first going to get scissors and some jute strings. I'm just going to drag this over. How long do I want these to be? I think that'll be good. Okay, let's get 5 pieces of jute cut about the same lengths. And these are going to be our hangers, whether it's a tag or whether it's an ornament. Okay. Tuck that back in. And get all my needle nose. I need to dry them off. They are wet from the paint water. Of course they are. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to cut a little bit of pipberry. I don't know how much yet. Let me get a piece of raffia here. And I am going to just wrap around my hands to be kind of a raffia bow. Let me decide how I want to do this. I think I can use the end of the raffia, that is really haphazard, to tie around it. So let's do there. That's a little more even. Okay. Now I'm going to wrap one end of the raffia around the center, find the other end, and then I'm just going to tie them together in a little knot. Hang on. There we go. So we have like a little raffia bow, like so. We'll glue that on, and I thought we would just, let's see, let's tie our jute. Let's go through this guy, and I'm going to do a slip knot up here at the top. So this will be our hanger. All right, whoop. And then see if my hot glue. You know what? It didn't stay charged. Okay, I won't use the hot glue this time. I will just use the, need to tie another knot here, the glitter glue for this one. Then I'll have to charge up my hot glue for the others because these are a little bit heavy and kind of so many layers and wiggly for that kind of glue. But we will use it for now. Let me check and see what I want to do with the pip berries. Do I just want to make a loop with the bow, or just put a little sprig coming out? That's what I want to do. We'll just do a sprig coming out. So in between my pip berries, we're gonna cut that off, and I will just glue this together. So I'm gonna start with some glue under the pip berries. Oops, underneath it, just below the hole. Okay. And then the bow on top of that. Do a little more glue. Now I'm going to have to hold this together here, guys, until it dries, or at least let it set still to dry. And then I can manipulate it. I may have to come back in with just the hot glue, but for now, there we go. Little sprig. Do I need more pip berries, you think, or do I need to just bring them around the front a little bit? Just kind of wrap it more like that. There. More like, I like that better. There we go. Isn't it cute? So they're all going to end up with some pip berries and a raffia bow like this. Hi, Wanda. Yes, 4 p.m. Central. That's what I always put my times as Central. Christina, on the graphics that she makes, she puts Eastern time. So I don't know if that was the confusion. I apologize for that. I try to label mine as that it's Central time so that you know that. Okay, so they're all going to have that, but I'm going to have to recharge my hot glue so that we can get them all nice and secure. But there is our little spring Christmas tree tag. And here is the one that's more whimsical. That's going to have the same topper and our little plank tree. And then we have our stacked, I call this one the stacked tree, and our triangle tree. So they're all going to end up with the same little topper. You like them? Thank you, Elaine. Hi, Tara. If you're just now coming in, you'll want to go back and catch the replay. We are almost done. Your mountain time, Peggy. Oh, okay. That would be 3, right? So they're all going to have that little topper. They're going to be so cute. They're just going to be so cute. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for coming over to the Rust Cover Cottage by Christina. I'm Joey with Created in Awe, so you can follow both pages. I do a lot of Christina's kits because we have our collection together, and I love being an affiliate for her. So you can get this kit in the link in the description, and you can also go over to her site and see all of her kits. Shipping is always included in the cost that you see on her website, so you're not going to pay any extra when you go and check out for individual kits, whether you buy 1 kit or you buy 100 kits. Shipping is included, so that's amazing. You don't have to ever worry about that, and these are going to get to you in plenty of time to craft up for Christmas. So get them now and enjoy your Christmas crafting. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.